Have you ever repotted a plant only to watch it look worse a few days later? The leaves droop and growth suddenly stops, and you immediately blame yourself. But here is the surprising truth: most people do not damage their plants during the actual repotting process. They damage them before they even begin or during the week that follows. Today, I am going to show you the exact workflow. Experienced indoor gardeners use this workflow to keep plants calm, healthy, and growing without complicated science or any unnecessary steps in the process. Just a simple process that dramatically reduces transplant shock. And before this video ends today, I will reveal one very small mistake. Almost everyone makes this mistake after repotting, and it can delay recovery for weeks without them even realizing it at all. Let us get started immediately. Repotting is not something your plant wants often. It is something your plant occasionally needs in life. That is an important difference. Many beginners treat repotting like a yearly tradition where every spring every plant receives a new pot. But experienced growers do not follow the calendar, they follow the plant. Repotting should solve a real problem, not create a new one. In this video, we are going to walk through the entire process together, from deciding whether your plant actually needs a new pot, to caring for it during the critical days after the move. Think of this as a practical checklist you can reuse always. Here is a question that almost nobody asks: is today actually the right day to repot? Because sometimes waiting one more week is the better decision. Before touching your plant, ask yourself 5 quick questions. Question 1. Is the plant actively growing right now? Plants usually recover faster when producing new leaves or stems. A plant that is actively growing can adapt to change much more easily. Question 2. Does it actually need a larger pot? Not every slow-growing plant needs more space. Some plants naturally grow slowly inside pots. Others prefer being slightly snug in their containers. If the plant is healthy, stable, and watering is easy, do not repot yet. Question 3. Is the plant already stressed? If your plant is currently fighting pests, recovering from underwatering, or showing signs of disease, adding another stressful event is not usually the best idea. Whenever possible, solve the existing problem first, then repot your plant later. Question 4. Do you have enough time today? This sounds strange, but repotting should not be rushed. Give yourself time to work. When people hurry, they forget simple things. They choose the wrong pot, spill soil everywhere, and move the plant repeatedly without care. A calm workspace leads to calmer decisions. Question 5. Can the plant recover in a stable environment afterward without major location shifts? If you are about to leave for vacation, move apartments, or renovate your room, today probably is not the ideal day to repot. Plants appreciate stability after repotting. Try to avoid major environmental changes during the first week. A subscriber once repotted 6 plants the night before leaving town for 5 days. When he returned, several looked weak. The repotting was not necessarily the real problem. The lack of follow-up care was the issue. Timing matters more than people think. Now that you have decided your plant is ready, there is one thing that separates smooth repotting from a stressful experience: preparation. And surprisingly, it has very little to do with the plant itself. One habit you will notice among experienced plant owners is that they rarely stop halfway through a project. Why? Because everything is ready before they begin. Here is the simple checklist: your new pot, fresh potting mix, a catch tray, clean pruning scissors only if needed, gloves if you prefer using them, and a small brush or cloth for cleaning everything afterward. It sounds basic, but stopping halfway to look for supplies means leaving your plant exposed longer than necessary. Preparation is not about perfection. It is about creating a smooth, uninterrupted process. Should you water before repotting? This is one of the most common questions asked. A plant that is extremely dry can be difficult to remove safely. A plant that is soaking wet is heavy, messy, and hard. The sweet spot is slightly moist soil, not dripping wet, and not bone dry. Lightly damp soil holds together better for root removal. Choose the right pot before you start. Do not remove the plant first and then start looking for a container. Have it ready. And remember, a slightly larger pot is usually enough. You do not need to jump several sizes. Giving roots reasonable space encourages growth. Organize your workspace by placing everything within arm's reach. Imagine you are cooking a meal. Professional chefs prepare ingredients before turning on stoves. Repotting works the same way. The less you interrupt yourself, the smoother the experience will be for both you and your plant. One afternoon I decided to repot a peace lily without preparing anything first. Halfway through, I realized the pot was outside in storage. The fresh potting mix was in another room, and my scissors needed cleaning. The plant spent nearly 15 minutes sitting out exposed. Nothing terrible happened, but that day taught me an important lesson. The easiest way to reduce stress is preparing better, not working faster. Everything is finally ready. Now comes the moment that makes most beginners nervous, removing the plant from its old pot. Be patient. You will be surprised how often plants are accidentally damaged, not because people are careless, but because they are overly impatient. Everything is ready. Your workspace is organized. Your new pot is waiting. Now it is finally time to move the plant today. This is the moment where many people become nervous. Ironically, that nervousness is often what causes mistakes during the process. The first rule is simple: never pull a plant by its leaves or stems. Instead, hold the base close to the soil. With the other hand, gently tilt the pot. If it is a plastic nursery pot, lightly squeeze the flexible sides. That usually loosens the root ball enough for the plant to slide out naturally. If ceramic, gently tap sides or bottom. Let gravity help you. Never rush this step. If the plant refuses to move, stop trying to force it. Ask yourself why. Sometimes roots have grown through drainage holes. Sometimes compacted soil created suction inside the pot. Sometimes mineral deposits caused sticking. Understanding the cause is much better than pulling harder, because every unnecessary tug increases the chance of damaging healthy roots. Once the plant is out, do not immediately place it into the new pot. Pause and take 10 seconds to observe carefully. Does the root ball hold together? Does it smell fresh? Is there any obvious damage? You do not need to inspect every root. You are simply checking whether anything looks unusual. This quick inspection often catches problems before they become serious for the plant. Many plants eventually develop circling roots. Do not panic, this is normal. If a few roots are circling, gently loosen them. Think of it as encouraging them to explore a new direction. You are not trying to untangle every single root. You are simply helping the plant transition into its new space. Sometimes doing less is the better choice for root care. Now comes the step that most people underestimate. It is not putting the plant into its new pot. It is what follows. One small habit during the next 2 minutes can make the difference between a smooth recovery and weeks of unnecessary stress. Place a small amount of fresh potting mix into the bottom of the new pot. Now set the plant inside carefully. Before adding more soil, stop and check something important. Look at where the base of the stem sits in the pot. It should be at approximately the same height as it was in the previous pot. Avoid planting deeper simply because space exists. A deeper planting level is not stronger. It often creates unnecessary moisture around the stem base, leading to potential stem rot later. Once height looks correct, begin filling around sides slowly. Rotate the pot as you go, allowing soil to fall naturally. Instead of packing soil tightly with fingers, gently tap the sides of the pot to settle mix without removing air pockets. If the plant leans slightly, straighten it before adding the final layer of soil. Tiny adjustments are much easier now than later. Finally, wipe away any soil resting on leaves or around the rim of the pot. It takes seconds, giving a clean finish. One thorough watering is usually enough. Water until excess moisture drains from the bottom, then stop completely without adding more water. Do not keep watering because you are worried the plant is stressed. More water does not equal faster recovery after transplanting. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes after repotting is constantly adding water just to be safe. Give it time first. Think of the first 2 weeks after repotting as a recovery period. Your goal is reducing stress, not encouraging rapid growth. Keep the plant in bright, indirect light. Avoid intense afternoon sun for a few days unless species specifically requires it. Do not fertilize immediately. Fresh potting mix often provides enough nutrients, and the plant's priority right now is stability, not growth. You might notice the plant looking slightly different during the first few days. A little drooping does not mean failure occurred. The plant is adjusting to a new environment. What matters is overall trend. Is it becoming stronger over time or weaker? 3 good signs show repotting success: standing upright again, soil drying predictably, and fresh growth appearing in following weeks. I once repotted a rubber plant that did not produce a leaf for 3 weeks. I left it alone patiently. Week 4 arrived, and a brand new leaf appeared. The plant was spending energy adapting before growing again. Patience is key. Repotting is not a race, it is a transition. The smoother you make it, the easier your plant settles in. Remember the workflow: decide if necessary, prepare everything, handle with patience, plant at correct depth, water once, and give time. You do not need to check every hour. Sometimes the best care is simply allowing the plant to recover naturally. The goal is not a plant that looks perfect tomorrow. The goal is a healthier plant for months ahead. If this guide helped you feel more confident, subscribe for practical, step-by-step plant care videos that explain why steps work. If you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up. Share your repotting story in the comments below. Remember, strong plants are not built overnight. They are built one healthy root at a time.